Welcome, everybody, to what I have been calling on Twitter the last normal Hunter Talk. That is the last straight up vanilla podcast, Jordan and me together by ourselves,
Just
talking
talking.
esports.
Just talking about Thieves.
Talking about Thieves and getting a chance to talk about stuff we don't talk about super often tonight. What we're going to be doing is focusing on what it's been like to watch 100 Thieves Esports for us, what we remember, the fun times, but we're focusing outside of LCS. LCS will inevitably bleed over into the discussions, but we're going to talk primarily about the other esports. And just, honestly, like no real plan, no real agenda other than to remember these things, and talk about what it's like to have been a fan for these 5 years.
Yeah.
So it should be
in some ways makes it like the least normal pod we've done in quite some time.
Yeah, right. That's what I guess scare quotes, right? Normal podcast. So yeah, it just to give you guys a refresher on the schedule for the show. We will have Rec League on this Thursday. We have John Robinson coming on the podcast a week from, I guess, yesterday. We're Tuesday today. So this upcoming Monday, John Robinson will be on the pod for an interview with me and Jordan. And then we'll do Rec League after that for the last time. And then Monday, April 17th. That's the farewell stream. I think Jordan is doing the same thing as me, but I'm basically planning on hanging out on stream for hours, like basically as long as I can. And we'll just be reminiscing and having some fun. So should be a really fun time, and we hope you guys can make it. But we wanted to make sure everybody's aware of the remaining schedule of the show, and I'll do my best to pop on here and there if we have some extra things come up or a VOD squad or whatever. So,
Uncapped subathon. Yeah, for our final show.
Uncapped subathon. Shout out to Trapos Goes Boom, by the way. He said when I started watching, I was in my second year of community college. Now I have a BS and work as a park ranger. Thanks for the memories. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sen says, hope there's something cool on April 17th. Yes, Sen. There is. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a fun night.
We'll see what all happens. I mean, I feel like one of the things I'm looking forward to is just watching some of those clips. There's so many good clips.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know there's going to be probably some other things too. So that'll be fun.
Definitely some other things. Okay. So for this pod, like I said, we will inevitably talk about LCS sometimes, but we're focusing kind of outside of LCS for the scope of tonight. And we're just kind of having an open conversation. So of course we need to bring it back to where this all began for 100 Thieves Esports and Jordan and I, which of course, as you all know, you've heard before, is Clash Royale.
Bro, imagine if you were one of the people who got signed as a Clash Royale.
Did they call it that? And if not, why? How come? Clash Royale.
Clearly they didn't, because if they did, it would still be going strong.
Royale. That was their one downfall. That's what they got wrong about esports, is not a pun name.
Was that? Oh my gosh, Clash Royale.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll talk about Clash Royale later. Yep. But I know the hardcore Hunter Talkers will know this story. But for real, I wanted to rewind it back to what drew us in, and that was, of course, the heist. So
the heist.
I believe, Jordan, you had a friend, right? Or was it Melvin? Was it relative?
Perhaps his brother-in-law. Yeah,
brother-in-law. Yeah, that was watching the Leagues of Legends.
Oh, yeah. He was definitely into it before we were.
Yeah.
As a pro watcher.
He got you interested in this little thing. And
I can't remember why I actually, I think I knew he watched it, but I can't remember why I decided that season. I was like, I'm doing it. I'm in. I can't remember.
Well, I'm glad you did, because you were looking for a team to support. And the heist came out. Now, I don't know if so from my angle, I watched step 2 of the heist. So episode 2 of the heist first.
Mm.
Did you watch from the very beginning?
I think so, because I do remember looking at the list of teams that were gonna be franchised in the LCS. I think maybe I saw maybe this is it. I saw an article about like, "Oh, LCS is franchising. Here are the orgs that have made it." And I was looking at the list and I was like, what are any of these?" I think I probably knew some of them, but then I saw 100 Thieves and I was like, "I don't know what that is at all, but it looks cool." Wonder what they've got out there on YouTube.
And you stumbled upon the greatest esports documentary series of all time.
Yeah.
Not a bad
People will
first
argue.
foray.
No, honestly. Yeah, and the rest is history. People will say that, what's that one that Team Liquid did?
Breaking
Vanishing
Point.
Point. But yeah,
Vanishing Point. That's the Dead Mouse song. Keep going.
They'll say that Breaking Point is a better one because it's, like, more well-known, but it's not.
I mean, we basically like this was like Breaking Point was Gabe, right? That was like Terminator 1.
Yeah.
There's a stat that I believe this is true. The opening sequence to Terminator 2, the budget for just that scene was greater than the entire Terminator 1 budget.
Amazing.
I'm fairly confident that that's a real statistic.
I love
And
that.
so maybe Breaking Point was like Gabe's Terminator.
Yeah.
And then Judgment Day was the heist.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to hear what he would say. Like, which does he think is better? I hope you're right though, because I
Yeah.
think he would agree.
Yeah,
It's a masterpiece.
it is a true masterpiece. But that got us all into this thing. I mean, I remember just being so impressed with how different it was compared to my expectations of esports. Like I thought esports was gonna be boring and kind of nerdy, and League of Legends itself was so like fantasy oriented. I'm like, oh, okay, not what I'm into. But fortunately, you bugged me enough, and I watched step 2, and I changed my mind completely, and that's what
Yeah.
led to this whole thing. So the weird part of it was we were so good immediately. So we just destroyed everybody in Spring Split. First foray, it's like, this is easy.
Do you think that we'd be do we do this show if we're immortals in Split 1?
Oh, that is a great question. If 100 Thieves sucked spring 2028 or 2018, does 100 Thieves ever happen?
Does Hunter talk or happen?
I'm sorry, I'm Googling this as I'm talking about it because I'm trying to pull up
Yeah.
what the record was. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. You know what I was saying, guys.
I know what you mean. I don't know. I mean, I guess this is evidence to the fact that it does. We started doing our show well before we were the best, right? The question is just like, do we actually stick with it? Or do we do it a couple
Ooh.
times and
Yeah, so one of the things that Jordan and I talk about sometimes privately and we see happen out there is like it's really difficult to do this kind of thing consistently. Lots of people have really great ideas for getting a pod off the ground, and then they kind of fizzle out, or other circumstances come up that don't allow them to do it, and that's really sad. But without the dubs, there may not have been quite as much motivation to do it. That is a great question. Like in an alternate universe where 100 Thieves goes 5-13. Oh wait, that was Optic Gaming. Does 100 Talk even happen?
I gotta say, it is a lot more fun to do this show when we are good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe it's just because it's like 5 years in, and we've had enough, oscillations of the wave.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. 3 more weeks of misery, and then we completely reverse everything and make our end of split run. Cool. Okay.
I said we wouldn't dwell on LCS, but here we are. Look, I just wanted to ask a quick question. Jordan, can you name the 10 franchises from spring 2018?
Yeah, easy. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Echo Fox.
Yes.
Start with the most important. TL, TSM, CLG, Optic Gaming.
Yep.
100 Thieves.
4 more.
There Dignitas?
Nope.
Yeah. No.
What was before Dignitas?
Oh, Clutch Gaming.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, Clutch Gaming. Is that 7? I think I'm
Hmm.
still
That's 7.
a few.
One
Immortals
very
wasn't
obvious
there.
one you skipped. Big name you skipped.
Cloud9. Cloud9.
I thought didn't you say I thought you skipped TSM, but
Oh,
either
I said
way.
TSM.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Cloud9
So
I had.
Cloud9 was it. Okay. And then the other two. I know what the other two are.
Is Immortals in there? They didn't. No. No. Wow, I'm having a much harder time with this than I thought I would.
Both of them are still active today. One of those is really surprising to me.
All right. I know which one it is then. It's Golden Guardians.
Yes, that was a surprising one to me.
Yeah. They've stuck
And
it out. They've been around. Both the other one active as well. I just can't think of it now. I'm on the hot seat. What is it? FlyQuest.
FlyQuest,
Sorry,
that's
Flight
right.
Check guys.
And fun
Yeah.
fact, Team Liquid finished the regular season in 4th place that split.
Ooh, that's a nice look for them.
All
Was it
right.
the beginning of the
It might
or
have been
the
the
end?
beginning of the memes, yeah.
I
Okay,
think it was
but
the end of the
the thing is we were so good so fast.
Yeah.
And then it like we fell just short that year.
Yeah.
And then it got worse in the summer split and Worlds
Yep.
was kind of rocky. You know what I mean? So we got quickly into this place where we're like, all right, what is going to happen with this team? Like it was great. It was sweet at first. And then things got way different. One of the great blessings of 2019 was that Bang joining the roster was not the only thing that happened for Under Thieves Esports. We
If
thought
Bang
we were
joining
gonna
the
be so
roster-
good, but
If that's the only thing that we do in 2019, does 100 Talk continue? That's the theme of the show.
all right. But there was another esport that came along. Jordan, do you remember which one it was?
Clash Royale.
Exactly, Clash Royale. I don't know when the Clash Royale team happened.
It was quick.
I think it was in
like, very
2018.
early.
I think it was like one of the first because they probably had to like put that in like the investor pitch deck. It's like, well, mobile's really big, so we got to corner the market on mobile esports.
You can still use that same pitch deck, by the way, because mobile's still coming up anytime now. Anytime. Mobile esports is the soccer of like US professional sports. You know, they're like everybody's playing. In 5 years, it'll be as big as the NFL.
Exactly. But Black Ops 4. So
Yeah.
Jordan and I, we weren't
Mm.
around for Jordan. 2016 was the first. There was the Black Ops 3 roster with the Jailbird jerseys. Everybody remember these?
2016.
Yeah. Hold on, I can even
Yeah.
show you. Look at this. Look at my production here. There we go. Look at it. Look at it. The Jailbird jersey.
Oh, look at that jersey. The
Beautiful.
Jailbird jersey. Does it actually call it? People calling it Jailbird?
I don't know. I know they are referred to as the prison jerseys colloquially. I'm calling them the Jailbirds. But Black Ops 4 happened. Do you remember how the excitement level for that, especially because of the players that we got? It was like, oh, we've grabbed basically 5 of the best players from the last game. It's like we got like 5 top 10 players basically.
Oops.
Great. And what?
And then we started off hot.
Yeah, right. No one lost more games than us. It was crazy. We almost did not qualify. And
yeah, man.
It didn't Gabe do like an awesome return to Call of Duty piece for Nade Shot and everything with Red Bull, I think it was it?
Yes.
Red Bull?
Yeah.
Red Bull is a sponsor. We have that incredible video. We should watch that on the farewell stream.
Yeah, we should actually add that to the list. Where's the list? Do we have a list?
We actually do.
Good.
I do. I'm running a list, yeah. And
I would love to watch it. Oh, the other one, if it's not on there, is the trophy one with Nate Shot driving in.
Oh yeah. Wait.
I want to say was
year was
Olivia
that?
who did that? That was like 2019. They had just opened the compound. It was before COVID.
Okay.
That
That's
video was
wild.
Amazing. They it's like, remember they did the behind the scenes where they like they did one shot.
Well, sticking to our discussion timeline though.
Yeah.
So we had the awesome reveal. It was like we're on top of the world. We're like, our League of Legends team is good, and we're gonna be back in Call of Duty. This is native to Nade Shot, right? We got Red Bull back on. We got the content popping off, and we played like doo doo, and almost. I mean, I think we had to like losers bracket run like 4 matches in a row or something just to qualify for the CWL like qualifier tournament or something, right? And the other like gigantic alternate universe question: what if FaZe did not loan us Crowder and Priesta?
Oh, if that's easy, we don't go. We're not in. There's no doubt in my mind. Those 2 guys were such high impact players.
I don't know if
coaches.
I think the loan happened after the qualification.
Wait,
I'm not.
Did it?
I don't really remember. I have to like rewind a bit.
Oh, we gotta look at the timeline.
I know that regardless, it's like FaZe like really birthed us, right? Which is
we owe them for that.
A terrible thing. But yeah, they they gave us like the 2 most likable people from FaZe ever, right?
Yeah,
in Priest and Crowder. And without that, who knows what would have happened? Because Black Ops 4 ended up bringing us the first real dubs. You know?
Yeah, first trophies. Yeah.
So the London, and was it Anaheim? Was that the other one? The 2 trophies we took home that
Sounds
year?
right. Yeah, sounds right.
I mean, going from barely qualifying for the league to winning 2 rings in a row.
Back to back.
Shout out Crowder. Shout out Priesta. Shout out FaZe. But
coach.
Shout out Oak Boys. Shout out John Robinson also.
Yeah. That team did a lot of shouting out.
That team did.
Peak
was that the most entertaining 100 Thieves esports team of all time? Like personality wise.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
It has to be, right?
They did a Totino's commercial. Like they just did. I feel like content was natural to them to the point that other, like they were doing content that isn't typical. Like now content I feel like is all, it's like 1 to 2 minute kind of like quick reacts, but they were doing like scripted ads
that were actually good and funny.
Yeah, they were actually really good.
But we had, so there's Octane, Enabled, Kenny, Crowder, Priesta, and Slasher. And it was like the most fun group of people to watch, like ever.
Yeah.
And we were really good. And again, the League of Legends team had a rough year, had a down year that year. And that kept us afloat in multiple things. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Clash Royale audience was really keeping us going. What do you think our Clash Royale viewership was?
I was wondering that before. The question I had for that is, did we ever do a
I think this is
competitive moment with that team?
No.
Can we find it? Is it
Can you watch Clash Royale matches?
100 Thieves Clash Royale. I'll do
Steady pointing out Pharaoh is on the roster in the beginning too. Yeah, RIP.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think these are is this the first time we've uttered the words Clash Royale on 100 Talk? It might. I feel so bad for those guys. I can't remember what their names were, but one of them was very nice and like followed us early on. It was like a great guy. Like I feel bad for not remembering, but I don't.
What are they up to?
The moment. BC found us a YouTube link. Piece of contact. Wait, hold up. Let me go over here. Show you this.
Oh yeah, this is the same one. This is the only one. So here, this is the only one. This is the introduction to the team.
I was on the phone.
The one and only.
With my cousin, and I'm looking down in our pool, and I see this.
Even this content is outstanding, by the way.
Upside down drowning. Without any,
This guy is a Clash Royale.
And I got him out, right? But he was dying.
I just clicked forward to a random spot, and that's the shot I got. I love this. Clash Royale. What a good time that was, right? Do you remember all of those times?
I do. All of that time. We're joking on these guys. These guys were lovely.
They were wonderful human beings. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that there was more of a record of this existing.
Yeah. Now, what about CS:GO? Do you remember when 100 Thieves CS:GO entered the picture? It was it the NRG roster that we bought?
I can't remember who it was. It was Renegades, right?
Renegades, yeah. Sorry. NRG was the rumored for Valorant, was it? Or
Apex.
Something? Or Apex? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but Renegades was the correct answer. You're right.
The old Renegades.
Let me ban that guy.
Not if I do it first. Oh,
I got him. Nice. Okay. CS:GO. So 100 Thieves, actually, this was our second entry into CS:GO. Do you remember there was a bit of controversy? This was back before 100 Talk even started.
Yeah.
A very brief, like 6-week long foray into CS:GO.
Yeah.
Second time around with the Renegades boys, we had the world's greatest mustachioed esports practitioner in Gratisfaction. I actually really like those guys too.
Yeah, those guys are also great.
Yeah, they were awesome, and that was at the end.
I loved watching CS:GO. I loved it.
Well, but what did it feel like? Because I don't know if you remember, but we never won.
No,
I don't think we won a single event. I think we got second at like the Intel event like twice. But
yeah, I mean,
I didn't even understand what the like format was.
Yeah.
You know, it's like even crazier than Valorant.
There's a grand slam involved. You have to get, like collect the dark rings to become the new like owner of a golden bar, a real bar of gold. It was strange. There's some weird stuff going on over there.
I found, by the way, the placements of our events here from 2019 all the way through 2020. It was only 1 year.
Yeah.
Got second at Intel Extreme Masters twice and second ESL Pro League Season 12 NA, where we got swept in the finals.
That seems actually better than I remembered us doing, to be honest with you.
Well, there was a real low point. I remember immediately people were like, oh, did they like mess up? Because despite the first event, things sucked for a while. It was rough.
COVID was the killer of this roster. I remember that.
And they had to play everything. Yeah, they had to play everything online now.
Yeah. That was the worst, man. That was a bummer. But that team, same as League of Legends, basically. 100 Thieves getting into CS:GO was my introduction to competitive CS:GO. I think that's a great product. Like, that is super fun to watch. Very, very compelling. And I have not watched a single event since we left. So that goes to show. Like, I loved it. I enjoyed every match I watched, and I was just there for the home team.
Well, unfortunately,
Did you like it though? Didn't you like watching it?
I did, but Valorant was like just better. Valorant's just more exciting for me to watch.
Yeah.
So sorry to all my CS:GO acolytes that I just offended.
Yeah.
Like Miller time, I'm sure. Lenny, good to see you in chat, by the way. Likewise,
For
it's
sure.
been great having you here. So yeah, COVID was the killer. When did Valorant actually come out?
The like
that was
beta
that,
was
that
probably
summer.
April 2020.
Yeah.
Or was it later?
So
June?
it was apparent that they were going to have some competition back then.
Yeah. And then CS2 came out. Now they're back.
Now competition is back. Yep. The announcement of Valorant was, I think, one of the most exciting times esports wise, because
I agree.
That game had like such a crazy buzz around it, and we were diving like in with this really like, you know, kind of crazy approach to it. By getting the PUBG boys.
Yep.
That was like a calculated risk, but it was like everybody was getting snatched up. We didn't know what it was going to be like, and we took this risk that didn't pay off. And it was, I don't know, it's like, was this peak hoodie org time? Because at this time, League of Legends was really bad. I guess Black Ops 4 kind of bailed us out, but I feel like Hoodie Org peak was like Hastro or something during Valorant. I don't know. I can't really place it on the timeline, but that not working out and then being able to rebuild and retool the roster was honestly like one of the craziest things that 100 Team management has done.
Yeah, I feel like that was the beginning of the mythology around our ability to make minor tweaks and then become almost instantly very, very good. It's like that thread continues all the way up until the nuke duck change, right? It's the same thing. Like we've just done that how many times now, honestly? Like probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And it works. And it's not always like a small change. Sometimes it's big changes, but it's like we make the call that then results in almost immediate improvement. And this was definitely one of those situations.
Yeah. BC says peak hoodie org was PUBG Valorant roster and the league stumbling at the same time. And that's kind of how I remember it. Where it was like there were people talking crazy greasy about the teams. I mean, yeah, in CS:GO again during that stretch, it was not great. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's felt a little bleak. And then of course we were out of Call of Duty.
Right. I forgot. Yeah. Maybe I think that it compounded the whole hoodie org thing because the one thing we were winning in, we didn't have anymore.
Yeah, right. It just all went away.
Yeah. Huh.
So the retool, keeping Hiko and then letting him bring over the Steel and Nitro boy. That was pretty insane.
That was
like a lot of powerhouse. Gabe strikes again with that video with Nitro and the Captain America shield and all that. Do you remember it? Oh my gosh.
That was very good.
BC said the thing we had all the hypes of teams who tweet at us every loss. That's right. They were trying to farm impressions. Crazy impression farming. What did you ask, Jordan?
Is Nitro still playing CS:GO for Liquid?
I think he returned like last year.
I know he returned. He is. I really like Nitro.
Yeah, he's cool.
Good dude.
And his performance for us was really underrated, I feel like.
Yeah.
And they're really good. Okay, good. Good for him.
Good for them.
Good for checking
Maybe
in.
I'll start watching it. CS2.
Yeah, we'll get a chance at that. Of course, you know what also happened around the time of the pandemic during 2020 was Warzone. Jordan, do you remember we had Warzone streamers for a long time?
Yeah, we had them for a long time. That's when this is such a crazy amount of stuff that Warzone didn't exist when we started following our Thieves for a while. I remember there was it was like a massive cultural thing because everybody was just sat in their house playing video games. Everybody played Warzone.
And honestly, let's tell the truth. It was so good. Warzone 1 was incredibly good.
It was one of the most compelling gaming experiences probably of my entire life. It was just unbelievable. It was so good. And there was this like, yo, are they about to make this into a tier 1 competitive product? Is that happening? And then we started snatching at these guys. They were dropping 40 bombs. They were dropping 60 bombs. Somehow they killed 115 people in a 100-person lobby. And then the competitive scene was just absolute doo-doo. It was so sad.
It was very,
That's like
very
one of
special.
my major esports regrets is that they couldn't figure out how to make that work because it was so fun to play. It was so good, and it just didn't translate
It
at
did
all.
not translate. Though I remember there was like a brief moment. It was like, I don't know, I felt like it was like a full year into Warzone. But for a bit, people spectating solos was like a thing. Do you remember that? It was like Tim the
Yeah, yeah.
Tatman was spectating solos and he had like 4 million viewers while he was doing that. So I was like, oh, maybe we're gonna figure out a way to make this work.
Yeah. Well, they like content-wise, I feel like it was always pretty healthy. It was kinda like Fortnite, right? It's like everybody's playing it. People are watching it. Kids just wanna do Fortnite dances. That's all they wanna do, and it's like you turn on the competitive, and it's just it's this, you know? What is this? Why are we watching? Why is anybody watching this ever?
Yeah.
They did the Fortnite World Series and gave away like $650 million or something, and still didn't matter. Still,
Everybody in the crowd goes home with $1 million.
yeah, congratulations. You're a millionaire now. Please continue to watch this. You're like, I don't know about that. I don't think I will. This is pretty dumb.
Yep, not doing it. Not even $1 million. And of course, another thing. So actually, bringing up Fortnite, that was what 2019 where we entered Fortnite. I think it was.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
had like a really good squad. Like
Yeah.
we were good, and then we brought in like Mr. Savage, who was like the #1 player from overseas.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
like 14. Like these Fortnite players are so young. Maybe 16. I don't know. I'm not sure how this works, but yeah, that dude, he was super young, incredibly talented, and just won everything. It seemed like.
yeah. So we were
Yeah,
actually
seasonality.
like the amount of attention that 100 Thieves got in Fortnite was sad because we were really good.
Yeah. And this was the first. I feel like so we started doing these things. This is like my first taste. So we did League of Legends every match. Watch every match.
Mm-hmm.
We did Call of Duty, Black Ops 4. Unbelievable game to watch.
Yeah,
so fun.
It was a really good watch.
You know, just really good game. Valorant, super fun. CS:GO, I already said my piece about that. Fortnite was the one where I was just like, I can't. I'm not going to do it. I like this team. I can't watch this. This is not something for me. So it was kind of interesting because it was like the first window of time where 100 Thieves was doing stuff, and I was like, this is not for me, and that's fine. This is for somebody else. You know?
There was like too much to even pay attention to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that just seemed just a mess. Absolute mess.
Do you know what else happened esports wise for 100 Thieves during 2020?
100 Talk, bring the buff, LA.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, that was a big moment.
Good call. 100 Thieves next. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do.
So this is kind of weird. 100 Thieves next was, I mean, it's got to be considered the best amateur team ever.
Yeah.
They were so entertaining and so good. Like, I felt like watching the 100 Thieves next games was as entertaining and fun as watching like any other like level of the game. You know what I mean? They were just crazy. They would turn around like 12,000 gold deficits in like one play. Like, yeah, we're not too worried about that. We're going to be okay. That team was so disgusting and good. Just looking back on that, our first 100 Thieves next roster, Tenacity, Kenvi, Copy, Otto, Poom.
It's a solid roster.
That is pretty dang good. Do you remember when Poom was like, all right, we're going to kind of like bring him up, and they're like, okay, Jan joined the team. And I don't know if you remember, but when Kenvi and Tenacity got bumped up, NXI stepped in, and NXI was like also very good in jungle.
Didn't he pretty recently? Didn't he get some big time reps with TSM? Was that where he was playing?
I think
called up.
Did he? Was he just temporary? Did he start for something? He's with CLG now. Oh, RIP.
Oh, maybe
CLG.
Oh,
He's with CLG. Okay, he played for FlyQuest.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, and actually, I don't think it went well, but he in amateur he was good, and it just seemed like we couldn't do any wrong with those boys. And then like Busio came the same year. Busio was there. The beginning. Okay, I'm looking at this now. The January roster: Tenacity, Kenvi, Copy, Otto, Poom. Okay, then we went. Jan was on the team in the middle of it, right? We had, let's see, 1 second. December 9th, the team was so NXI, Copy, Jan, and Otto all left. And so it's like, all right, well, that's the end of that because Tenacity and Kenvi had left, Poom had left. It's like, okay. And then we had Cozy, Goo, Young, Instinct, and Busio. So it's like our third round of guys. A third round of guys was still very good.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like that year.
That program was something else.
Shoot, man, they were so good. And we never really did much content. I don't know if we ever really did. We watched some VOD Squad. We did some VOD Squad with those guys.
Yeah, well, we had to keep up our reputation of criminally underappreciating anything below the LCS.
Which is hilarious too, because we casted Academy for 100 Thieves, like on the official channel.
I think we were involved in the 100 Thieves Academy before Kelsey was. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Kelsey actually, man, that's another good. Oh, gosh, we were stacked. We had so much good stuff happening on the under the surface, under the sub LCS level. It was kind of crazy.
Subterranean LCS.
Subterranean 100 Thieves.
So they should have named it instead of the Challenger League. Subterranean.
Is Robin in the house? Because when did 100 Thieves enter Apex?
Early. Honestly, we were there pretty early. Not like early in the scheme of the game, but the scheme of or like in the timeline of the organization, it was pretty early. Remember, we had a couple of guys just doing content. I think.
Yeah, we had content creators, and then we had like more.
Original
stuff.
Apex roster. We had an original.
Gigs, yeah, Gigs, Teenage, and Lifted in the beginning of 2019.
Yeah. That's early.
Yeah. And then we shook it up later. Nicewig came on in 2021.
Yep. This is our second go around with Apex.
Yeah.
This is one of the things I still can't figure out. I'd love to listen to like the historians' take on this. Why Apex I just feel like everything else was feeling sort of stale. We were at that point of the pandemic where people are like, I guess I just dropped another 60 in Warzone. What
Seriously,
else
I was watching Huskers every day. Like I just broke the kill record again.
So, and then for some reason, everybody started playing Apex. I don't know what it was. Maybe they don't know what it was. Everyone's playing Apex. And then we were like, everybody's playing so much Apex. We got to get another team. Who's available? Who can we get? And then we did. And those games were pretty fun to watch too. The competitive Apex. I'd never watched that before. But they actually figured it out. They actually had a format that Warzone wishes they had, but they could never do. That's pretty good stuff.
So we bought a roster in 2021. That's when we re-entered, like the end of 2021. So
bought from Renegades, right?
Kungarna NA.
Can you imagine if we just bought Renegades again?
We just whatever Renegades does, let's just buy them.
Yeah.
Except for, aren't they like in the running for the CLG LCS franchise spot? I heard.
Gosh, that would be amazing.
And then we can buy a second LCS team. No, I don't think that's happening. It's NRG. Oh, did I do it again? It's a running joke. I keep saying NRG and Renegades. I can't look. Do you see this? Our NRG Renegades. You start in the middle and go out like one of those old like plumber logos, or like the things that all the brides put on their bags for like 2 years in the mid 2000s, 2010s, I guess.
That's right. How
Anyway.
else do you read? Isn't that just how everybody reads?
Everyone picks the middle and then they go left, right.
Starting from the middle. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna live this down now. It's a thing, isn't it? But what we
Renegades.
didn't talk about, the other thing for 2020, Valorant First Strike.
Oh,
Who won that?
some no-name org. Only one. Sell merch.
Cool trophy. Do you remember that trophy?
That's a cool trophy. We still have it. We should go check it out.
It's in the trophy room, isn't it?
It is.
Do you remember? Okay, trivia time. Do you remember who we beat for First Strike? This is to me. This is very surprising.
Yeah, maybe I do remember this. Was it? Wasn't Envy? Was it?
Mm-mm.
No.
Envy and Sentinels were 3rd, 4th.
FaZe.
No. It was TSM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we beat TSM. Isn't that crazy?
And the,
Sub Rosa. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who else was on this one? Really? That was before they'd Bang, right?
Before
Bang was
before we did. You mean did TSM have Bang? Was he on DML?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bang, yeah.
I didn't know
They
that's where he
dropped him
came
out.
from.
I think our Valorant historians will let me know if I'm right on that.
Yeah, they signed him in June of 2021.
Wardell.
So the 2020 was
after First Strike.
Well,
Wardell
it's
was crazy on the out.
Bang wasn't on the team yet though. It was Wardell, Drone, Cutler, Hazed, and Brax. Ooh, I do remember that now that I'm reading that. That was nasty. That was a nasty team.
Did you say Wardell or not?
Yeah. Wardell.
Okay.
Wardell, Drone, Cutler, Hazed. Oh, and I said Brax, but Brax didn't join until the next year. But anyway, that was a nasty team. Sabrosa was the other one. You're right.
That was before they were TSM FTX.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably.
It was. That's that short time. TSM FTX.
It was pretty short. Yo, is Sam Bankman-Fried in that video they do announcing it?
He probably is. Please, someone go dig that up and let us know.
Oh my gosh. I just remembered that video.
All right. So that was 2020. We won Valorant. So at that point we had won Black Ops 4 trophies and we won the Valorant First Strike. So we had got some dubs under our belt. Was that the year also that Someday won Academy? Do you want to have the Academy trophy be a part of this conversation? Oh, it looks like we've lost Jordan. I think we have lost Jordan. That was 2019 summer. Okay, thanks for correcting me, guys. Let's see if it's at him. No, I don't know. Don't know what happened to him. Okay, so let me get back on track. Then, of course, the 2021 year for 100 Thieves was a little bit different because of LA Thieves. So I think technically, did we technically did the team launch at the end of 2020? I think, yeah. At the end of 2020. Oh, Jordan's back now.
Hi, hello.
Hi, welcome back. So I was just talking about how, so Someday, by the way, guided us the Academy win in 2019. I was bringing that up as maybe happened in 2020, but 2019 was that year. End of 2020, going into 2021 was LA Thieves are back. Now, do you remember when the rumors of this happened? It was like, no, guys, stop.
Yeah.
It is not happening.
Yep.
The spots were like, yeah, it's about $30 million for a Call of Duty spot. It's like, nope, we're not doing it. We're very clearly not doing this. We didn't do it before. We're not doing it now. How in the world, after the Cash App compound and everything, how did we raise money for this?
I mean, hasn't Nate gone on record basically to say like he went to the board and
yeah,
I'm not sure if he used the word beg, but that's
I think my understanding of it, I think I remember him making some comments to that effect, where it's just like we missed being in Call of Duty more than we thought we would.
Mhm.
and we needed to get
Yeah.
back. Excuse me.
That's another one, that I think at some point, like, all of these decisions, like, you gotta go back and say, like, "Is it the right decision? Was that the right is that the right money to spend?" I mean, this is another one where we can say we we hit the pinnacle of possible achievement, and is it still the right use of that much money? It's very hard to say, which is crazy, because you think about all these other organizations who did this and didn't win, and like, what is the answer for them? You know?
Well, and Trapos brings up a good point. Do you remember what happened immediately after we spent all that money? It was not pretty. Let me put this up on here. The results were not pretty. So this is Cold War when we entered. These are these game battles, whatever, right? They weren't real. They were pretend. Then we hit stage 1 qualifying, right? Okay. Stage major, 5th, 6th, 11th, 12th, stage 2 qualifying. 5th, 6th, 5th, 6th, 5th, 6th, 9th through 16th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Oof.
Look at Cold War. That was our whole Cold War. Can
It's
you
crazy.
imagine those results after spending all that money? It was depressing, dude.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that bad.
It was
Honestly, I
very
didn't realize
bad.
it was
And then you had Cold War, which was a boring game to watch too. Like that one, I think that's been my least favorite Call of Duty to watch.
Mhm, and also to play. You remember that?
No, we did win. Was it 21 in a row with Haynes, or was it 19? I can't remember.
Oh, I think it was 21.
That was a very fun night.
Still my top 10 gaming achievements.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And so
Unbelievable.
and JCap at that time was like switching up players like crazy because
Yeah.
remember we got Hook. It was like, oh yeah, Hook. Hook is
Oh, yeah.
going to guide us to easy dubs. You saw what he did. What was it for Dallas the year before?
He misspelled his name.
He
Couldn't get, like, I don't know what happened.
What was that? Okay, so we're at our next like alternate universe moment. If Hook spells his name correctly, what happens?
We instead of 11-12, we get 9-16. I don't know what or 9-10.
Well, no, like that wasn't that kind of the last straw? And then Hook left, and look what happened. Look what happened in Vanguard the next year. We immediately improved, and then we got the dub that mattered most. Major 4 win and the CDL win.
That's crazy.
Isn't that disgusting?
Crazy. I mean, if you just look at that before Major 4, what was our best finish? Second? We have 1 second.
That was not a real event. That's Pro-Am.
Wow.
So the majors, look, Major 1, 5th, 6th, Major 2, 7th, 8th, Major 3, 8th. Oh, I guess 4th, actually. I guess we did okay. But still, and then we just shot up, rocketed to the top, man. What a rebound in Vanguard in 2022. And guess what was happening in LCS? That's right. So it was really crazy. Like 2021 summer LCS, which we were trying to not really focus on that. 2021 LCS win, and then 2 more finals during that stretch. I don't know. When you look back at it, 2020 had to be the worst year of esports, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the only year. And I mean, even that, we won Valorant First Strike, but that was the worst we did. Because 2019, we got the Black Ops dubs. I mean, 2018 depends on how you see it, right? But we made finals in our first split for LCS.
Like over time, too, the Valorant First Strike thing, it felt less durable.
People definitely don't respect it.
Yeah.
Which I disagree with, by the way. I think that was the tournament of the best people in NA at the time. That to me is very equivalent to winning like LCS title.
For sure. I think it should be viewed the same, but I think people put all kinds of reasons that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
They attach reasons. It's like nobody had figured it out yet. We didn't win anything after it, which I think kind of hurts a little bit. So it felt a little bit fluky compared to the others.
Well, I still
you know.
I still believe in it. It's just, the fact is when you look back at the esports history, like almost every year we've had like a huge win to celebrate of some kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like 2023 so far, I mean, we got second at the at Major 2 for LA Thieves. I think Valorant's going to show some promise. We didn't even mention our VCT run. Cuz we had a good showing at VCT. It was unfortunate that you know, it ended up going the way it did, but I still felt like we looked good. Like we won the last chance qualifier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we looked good in that event. And then it was the Red Bull event after that. We won like the Red Bull thing.
I think that was what was that? That was like post Masters or whatever Champions pre franchising, right?
That was at the end of 2022.
Mm-hmm. Like after the VCT wrapped, right?
Yeah, to December. Yeah. So yeah, home ground. We went home ground is what it was called. So I don't know. This has been a pretty successful work to follow, and not even having to wait that long to find that success has been pretty awesome. When you look back at it, I wanted to ask you this question. So we had tossed around the idea, and I was kind of developing a bit like this content piece that we were going to do for the greatest thieves of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be a good place to kind of like end, is looking back on all this stuff that we've talked about, like who for you stand out as the greatest thieves of all time. And honestly, I bet you and I have the same number one. I think it's easy. It's easiest to say what number one is, right?
Yeah.
It's the Kind Boy.
Has to be. Who else?
Has to be. The ultimate franchise player for 100 Thieves. Someday.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer someday. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think if he doesn't win the LCS trophy, I think that changes the whole thing.
Really?
But it's
interesting. Say more.
And here's why. I mean, I think it would be more conversation, right? Like I still think he would be people's, and I guess maybe this is like how do you parse it?
Yeah.
But he is both. I think he's both many people's favorite player for 100 Thieves over the years, and I think you have to say one of the absolute most successful too. And the achievements of the COD guys obviously make that more of a challenge. But it was just such a huge deal to win in the LCS. And it's almost I don't know if it's just because our roots are in COD, but it just feels that much less expected that we would ever reach that height. So for me, that's where I think both those, and then it's just like also the story arc, right?
Yeah.
Like he was here from the very start. He brought us to the peak, and then from there on, it's like, who cares? The legacy is cemented.
How do you feel about the next Hall of Fame guys, Kenny and Octane? Would you put them in that 2 and 3 position?
I think the only other, I think so. Yeah, I would. And they did that after we won champs, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then, yes.
So I definitely would put Kenny in second. Octane identifies so much with our brand, and you remember like when he is basically like, it feels so good to win for this team, and when he had to take his little sabbatical, you could just tell that he wanted to be back with Under T the whole time. And I think like in some way that makes his story like even better, right? It's kind of like just wanted to be back.
The prodigal son. Yeah.
Is Octane third?
Behind Kenny?
Yeah.
I think so.
You
I mean,
feel good about that? I think probably.
I think COD Champs, for me, it's got to be. I think you got to look at the pool of players who have achieved the greatest things, not just been the most entertaining or like the most likable.
Mhm.
And for me, those three guys are the ones who are right. Not only did they win champs, but they won the back-to-back trophies before too.
Yeah.
You know,
right. So the conversation then gets a lot more nuanced and interesting once you get beyond those three.
Yeah.
Who do you have backing up those guys? Like who's in that fourth, fifth kind of range?
I'll go to Asuna, and I think because I think he still has probably the highest ceiling. Like I think if they can get this Valorant program really cooking, I'm not gonna say cooking, clipping along, then like I think he could be a multiple championship winning player for us. You know,
Is he's kind of following the same arc as Someday. Like although Asunu wasn't there from the very start, he was,
he didn't win
you
first
know,
strike.
he wasn't
Wait,
he wasn't there for the training wheels roster, right, with the PUBG guys. But
he didn't win the first strike, did he?
No, Asuna did.
Did
right? Right? Yes, he did. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
he did.
Why are you making me question myself?
Well,
but I'm saying he wasn't there from the
when they
start
brought him
of
in, I think.
Valorant. Someday was there from day one, right?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So he's not. But other than that, it seems like he's on that same trajectory where like the team has been good, and we've gotten
And
really
he's always
close.
been very good.
And he and you kind of feel like he anchors the team from like a franchise player kind of standpoint. So he's really exciting to watch. I wonder, for me personally, I wonder if I would put Closer above him right now.
Oh yeah.
I really, really like Closer, and I love that he's been the engine of the team. I mean, he's been around almost the same amount of time.
Yep.
And he won the title, right? LCS title, 3 straight finals. And he's been a critical part of those things. So I'm not sure who I have higher, Asuna or Closer. I feel compelled to put a Valorant player up there because we need a Valorant player up there. These Valorant is a big deal.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of lean Asuna one way. I wouldn't put Hiko up there. I know a lot of people talk about Hiko, which he's had a tremendous impact on the org, and he obviously was like the leader in the first year. So it's good that we have him in there, but I just can't, without him playing that long for us, I just can't put him up in that category. So the next name that you probably have to go to for best Thieves of all time is PT 105, right?
PT 105?
Clash Royale? I don't mean to play, like, these guys, again, I just want to reiterate, the Clash Royale guys were super nice. Like PT 105 and Frost, those were the two guys. I looked up the roster, obviously. Those two guys, they liked us. They were nice. They're just wonderful human beings. I love them to death. So I don't mean to be, I'm not joking about them, right?
Yeah.
But,
in a different universe.
Yeah.
That's our winningest program.
Some other thoughts. Aframu?
Yeah.
He was maybe not like, he meant so much to the team. He got MVP. He was with the team until who he took over, right? Loved him.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, he didn't quite make it all that way, right? There was like a split where in between the two, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I loved that guy. And that guy was a big reason why I liked the team early on, because they focused so much on him in those early heist episodes. And he was so cool. And we met him in person and he was super nice. And like, I just always rooted for that guy.
Yeah.
Most underrated 100 thief ever. Ryu?
Oh, yeah.
Coach Ryu?
The I don't even know what to call him. The hidden master. Like I feel like every roster we had him on, we got his war stat is way up there, you know? but otherwise not going to win
just for the
any
mystique.
major rewards.
Just for the mystique.
Like you couldn't really pinpoint it to a single stat column, but just he helped your team win more. That's kind of it.
Yeah. Well,
Enable? Did you mention Enable?
I didn't actually bring him up, but I like Enable was so freaking funny and entertaining. He was so awesome. I loved Enable so much. Obviously, he wasn't like the standout player, but he feels to me like a core part of the LA Thieves brand, you know?
Yeah.
From his time as a player before LA Thieves and then as a content creator since. And then just being like the one continuously funny, entertaining dude.
Did he not get he was on the roster that won the back-to-back trophies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in 2019.
So that's huge. Like that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think from a like identity standpoint, he's the kind of player who like his impact endures a lot more, I think, than maybe other players who probably were better at the game they played. Mm-hmm. This is not to undersell him at all because he's really good. I mean, obviously he won 2 trophies for us.
But it's like the tone and the vibe, man.
Yeah. You kind of get the sense that I imagine in a locker room, he's also the guy you want, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like he's just got good energy and fun to play with. Yeah, I loved him.
Racer said amazing in the chat. Amazing, the unsung hero Band-Aid holding, like frantically holding for dear life to keep 100 Thieves LCS together. He did so much and was given so little for it. I love that guy. Oh man. Well, it's been crazy. It's been so fun to watch the team win. And to get through those valleys when things are really hard, but to zoom out and be like, look, we were winning stuff virtually every year. You know, there's always something to point to, man. It's been an incredible ride. Like 100 Thieves Esports, I'm still going to be like following it for sure after we stop all this. Mm-hmm. Like I'm still going to be like, I don't anticipate I'll ever really miss an LCS match. And I imagine I'm going to stick with Valorant and Call of Duty pretty strongly, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine not watching them. Like the story has been so good that you know,
I agree.
Just gonna have to carry these things with us, and then just hope that we get a Clash Royale run back at some point.
I did see that XQC just got back into it, so hey, maybe this is the beginning.
This is it. Call up PT 105 and Frost right now. Get them on the horn.
They're still top 5 players.
Yeah. Well, we had several other topics that maybe we'll hit when we do the farewell stream.
Yeah.
So kind of put those in our pocket.
That stream's going to be long.
Yeah, it is. But we're gonna for now wrap this. Just kind of reminiscing about what happened. But man, from the new cool kid upstarts who made a splash immediately, to the struggles and the hoodie org memes, and then overcoming them by winning in multiple esports after rebuilding multiple programs. Shout out Milk, by the way. I don't think we said his name once on this podcast.
And Mud Dog.
And
we apologize for not.
I love Mud Dog, man.
There's too many high caliber people to give anywhere near the amount of credit that's owed in a 1 hour quick pod.
Yeah. But I think we just have to say thank you to everybody who's been a part of it. And I look forward to watching us get more wins. I'm really optimistic about the Valorant team.
I can't wait to watch them.
Yeah. I think the VCT is going to be really fun. So
yeah.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for being here for the look back on 100T Esports. We've got an air horn redemption here, which we usually don't do there in Papa. Why the heck not? Here you go, Trappos. I mentioned the schedule earlier, so we will see you on Thursday for Rec League. I'll announce what the plan is for that tomorrow. And until then, we'll say we love you and we miss you already.